Hey, how's it going, everybody, on this Thursday night on October 11th? What I wanted to talk about tonight is business planning 2019. And this is a question I get a lot as a manager, as a real estate coach. People ask me this question all the time. And we talk about, basically the question, should I stay or go? And what I mean by that is that, especially the feedback I've gotten over the last couple of weeks is the market's been a little bit quieter. And as you're going through your business plan and you're thinking about, okay, what is my year going to be like next year? And there's some new companies, there's some new options. The question comes up, should I stay or really should I go? And that's the question. Now, like anything in life, there's change, right? Let's talk about some of the change. For example, remember back in the day we had VHS tapes? For the kids, this used to go into what they call a VCR, and it's this. Okay. And then we have, DVDs, Rocky. And, nowadays people stream things or, CDs. So actually this is a freestyle CD. That's from the 90s. Anyway. And other stuff out there from a technology is think of like the BlackBerry, right? BlackBerry was... Mrs. BlackBerry, I love my keypad and everything on it, but the BlackBerry was our first kind of phase of getting connected with the internet more and emails and being kind of connected. Where I remember the first time going into a real estate office, this was like 2005 or 2006. I had gotten this BlackBerry and I had an agent that said, I will never, ever, so I'm just fixing my camera here. I don't know what just happened. Oops. Let me fix that, sorry. The agent said to me, I will never, ever get something like that, or I'll never be connected like that. And look at today, we are connected. So I'm using a Mevo camera. Sorry about that little edit before. All right, so let's talk about some of the real estate companies out there. Now, this could go for other businesses as well. But, you kind of have like these flat fee models that have come out. You pay a flat fee and, the fees modeled. Like, for example, I'd have to pay for this marker. Or if that copy machine was going off right now, I'd have to pay for every single copy. One of the things when you go to these models, the flat fee or the fees model, you have to keep in mind that they're not really giving you all the services. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about going to that model because, they're paying you a little bit more compensation and they're paying you that more compensation because you're going to do more things on your own. So keep that in mind when it comes to these models right here. These work for some, don't work for all. Then you have the multi-level, we're not going to call it marketing, profit sharing or whatever they call it. So there's companies out there that are like that as well. And then you have the luxury brands, right? So you have companies out there, the luxury brands out there, and it seems like they have the higher end inventory, which we know is going through a correction right now. And then you have those brands as well. So you got your flat fee, your fees, pay for everything, your air, everything, multi-level profit sharing, and then your luxury brand. Let's keep going through. Then we have our traditional brands, right? Now, traditional brands would be, how would you categorize them? You'd categorize them probably as the brands that are under the traditional splits. But traditional splits are not like they used to be like 50-50 or anything like that really anymore. But I would say your traditional brands. Now, if you think about your traditional brands today, maybe are offering you more services. So like sometimes I would talk to agents and we'd talk about the fees brand, and I'd say, listen, you can go to the brand like that and they'll probably give you a bigger split, but just keep in mind that if you're getting that bigger split, you can't expect the brand to do X, Y, and Z or do all those ads or do this or do that. And then you have a technology brand, and then you have a support brand, and you have these teams right here, right? So the technology brand. There's some really good technology brands that are coming out there, and Life NY, we've brought technology in, but we haven't, we're not making it so complicated. But there's other technology brands that are out there too as well. And here's what I could say. If you like technology, which I think everyone kind of does, we kind of been forced to it. I mean, we walk around with these iPhones, which are mini computers. If from a technology standpoint, if you think about it, it's good to have a company that has technology. You just have to make sure that there's the proper training so you can use it. It's like, for example, an iPhone, right? Little trick for you, you know, if you're ever taking a selfie, if you hit the volume button on the iPhone, it actually will take the picture for you versus actually trying to hit the button in the middle. So that's a little trick that, you know, I had learned. I think it was like 10 things you didn't know about your iPhone. But technology, here's what I could say for everybody. When I teach agents and talk about technology, master one thing at a time, get to it 100%, and then move on. Stop learning 10% here, 20% there. You're not going to use it. But I'll tell you, there's some companies that have some great technology, but only about 7 to 10% of those agents are actually using it. So don't just use this fancy word technology if you're not actually using it, or if it's simple. So if you're with a company and their technology, go to your broker and say, listen, can someone show me how to use the technology? Now, if their manager doesn't know how to use it, that's a different problem. That's a different conversation. What about the support brand? Yeah, that's my house phone. Okay, support brand. So from a support brand standpoint, think of a brand that's pretty much like a traditional, but actually gives you actual support, you know? And then you have your teams. You know, a lot of people have transitioned to teams, or companies have transitioned. They're almost like mini companies within a company. And you see teams are becoming more and more popular out there. So that could be another option for you as well, especially if you're new and you feel like your business hasn't really taken off the ground. A team may be an option for you, but look at what the team has to offer. So what's important to you? So this is a question I ask the agents all the time. You know, if you were to pick the perfect real estate company, what would you want it to be? Or what do you like about your company? What you don't like about your company? And, you know, things like, you know, split will come up. But honestly, I've recruited tons of agents over the years, or brought agents onto the team, and split's not always been the whole big thing. It's been training. It's been the management. You know, what's the support system? I know there's still managers out there, and they're probably going to get upset, that still sit in the ivory tower and play solitaire all day, but that's not really what an agent needs anymore. How about the culture? You know, if you go back to the book Delivering Happiness, or Zappos, if you can ask for them, you can actually get a copy of their culture book. You know, this is a good thing to think about is, you know, what is the culture? Do you have friends in the office? That's another big thing that I know people will say is about office friends. How about office meetings? Do you even go? Are they meaningful? Are you getting anything out of it? As a manager for 8 years, one of the things I made sure was that my meetings always beat the last week or the prior week's meetings. And it was always some good content. So what is the office meetings like? And then support staff. First of all, you should not, it's 2018, you should not be making your own appointments for your office. There's a thing called showing time and centralized showing and services out there where, you know, basically a service can actually make an appointment and understand that you're also doing a disservice for the sellers because you're restricting an appointment from 9 to 5. So, you know, you really should invest into these third-party companies where they have customer service centers. Will actually make the, you know, they'll take the calls and all those kinds of things as well. So support staff, what kind of support staff do you have? The support staff willing to help you? You know, how does it really work? They just do paperwork? So think about those things. So what I will say to everybody, and try to keep this, I'm not sure how much time I've got so far. So about 8 minutes, so I'll try to keep it under 10. What I will say at the end of the day, and as I've grown in my career, is I always say, take the meeting. If you get a call, take the meeting. Learn what you are worth. Learn what you're worth. Been with a company X, Y, and Z. What is your worth now? You know, you've been in the business 10, 15 years, 5 years. What is your worth? Find out what the outside is your worth. Take the meeting, right? And learn about the new company. Yeah, I had to drop that little about there. Learn about the new company. I got a call the other day and someone said to me, why are you following ABC Company? And I said to them, because then I get to see all the commercials that they do on Facebook and anything else. If I follow them, then I know what they have to offer. So if anything, and you take this meeting, you do learn what you're worth. You get to take this meeting and you get to learn about that new company. So when you go on that listing presentation, they go, I heard about that new company, ABC Real Estate. You could say, yeah, I've heard about it too. Or you learned a little bit about it. So what I will tell you is stop avoiding the phone call. Take the meeting, okay? Because it's one of those things, well, shouldn't I? Just take the meeting, learn what you're worth, and learn about that new company. So those are the kind of touch points I wanted to talk about today. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me. I always say to agents all the time, I had conversations this week. I say to agents, I want what's best for you. So maybe Life NY is not the company for you. Maybe ABC company is not the work for not for you. But keep in mind that I've worked with a lot of companies over the years, and I've learned what they have and what they don't have. So if you need somebody who's a neutral party, and and you could talk to people that I've spoken to in the past, I want what's best for you. So if you want to have that conversation, DM me. My phone number's out there. Email me, whatever. Let's have a conversation. All right. Thanks for your time, everybody. Have a great night. Have a good Thursday, and have a great weekend.